Good morning and welcome to our Shivaratri celebration. The program will be, as always, as an offering to Shiva, we will have group chanting of Om Namah Shivaya 108 times. That will be followed by a PowerPoint presentation and talk by Ruthrun, Selvarajan, on Shivaratri, the inner significance. That will be followed by a talk by Gayatriprana on Shiva, the cosmic dancer. And then you're invited to stay back and get a share of the offered sweets and savours. So now I invite you to join us with group chanting of Om Namah Shivaya. 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 So now I'll invite Ruthrun to give his talk.
Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you, Mataji, for allowing me to give this talk. I've learned a lot when I was thinking about this topic. So I'm going to start. It's a little bit off topic, but still relevant. Uh, I just want to do a bit of show and tell. So recently, earlier this year, we visited Vietnam, and we saw the Mi Son ruins in Vietnam. This is near Hoi An, in the Quang Nam province of Vietnam. So this is me and my family, and these ruins date back to the 17th and 13th century, so about 1,700 years ago. And the original people of these ruins were called the Champa people, and they were devout Shaivites. So all around the ruins there were several Shiva lingams, and here you can see there's also the dancing Shiva, and this is one of the Shiva lingams, and they're huge Shiva lingams. So you wouldn't be even able to wrap your hand around them. There are several missing as well, which have been taken to various museums. And so these are dotted all around. And you can see there, this is one of the depictions of Shiva in the stone. So it's quite amazing. So all these ruins were created very long time ago by Indian traders who actually navigated towards Vietnam and established a civilization. So that's quite interesting. And there's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. This is actually my pajama shirt, which I have, and it's a picture of a show called Seinfeld, and on there it says a show about nothing. So this will come later, but you'll understand why I've shown this. But this is something my wife gave me a long time ago. So back to the talk, I'll first talk about delving into the inner significance of Shivaratri. I want to speak primarily about consciousness. So David Chalmers, an Australian philosopher and cognitive scientist, defined this as the hard problem of consciousness. Even today, scientists still have not been able to crack the consciousness problem. Hopefully, they will eventually do this with new amazing discoveries, but this is still a very difficult problem to solve. Shivaratri is a special day where devotees can come closer to understanding their inner selves. Hinduism depicts one of the aspects of Shiva as being the ultimate reality, as being existence, consciousness, bliss. Vedanta called this Satchitananda. Advaita Vedanta describes the ultimate reality as our consciousness, that which is unchanging. It is the real you. It is the witness body, the witness mind, the witness thought. This topic shows up very clearly in the Upanishads, where the ultimate reality is described as beyond speech, hearing, and even thought. The Kena Upanishads say that which speech cannot reveal, but which reveals speech, that which the ear cannot hear, but by which the ears hear. Here, Brahman is explicitly described as not speakable, not hearable, and yet the very source of speech and hearing. The Taittiriya Upanishads emphasize the failure of language and intellect from which words return, along with the mind, not having attained it. Meaning, speech and thought tried to grasp the ultimate reality and come back empty-handed. This is probably what scientists have been battling in their effort to discover what is consciousness. As you try to grasp it, there is nothing there. The Mandyoka Upanishads say, here the ultimate reality, Durya, is described by what is not inward knowing, not outward knowing, not both, unseen, beyond transaction, incomprehensible, ungraspable. And my favorite Upanishads, which I find it very hard to pronounce, Brihadaranyaka Upanishads. Hopefully I got that right. The ultimate reality is neti neti, not this, not this. I find that a very nice way to describe a very complex solution with actually not giving the solution. This is actually the way a lot of maths problems are solved. You start with everything and then you remove what is not. So we refer to the ultimate reality as what is not. I cannot tell you what it is, but what I can tell you is what it's not. Neti neti, not this, not this. So whatever you define as this, not that. What I see, not that. What I hear, not that. Smell, taste, touch, not that. All of me, all of you, Robert Uncle, not even that. Even what I'm speaking and thinking about, not that. You remove all of that and you're left with nothing, empty space. Not even that. So neti, nothing. As soon as you try to point out consciousness, the ultimate reality, as an object, it's incorrect. It doesn't exist. When meditating, I heard a technique of how to quiet the mind by a talk by Swami Sarvapriyananda. So this is a way you prime the mind and you give it suggestions. And you say, "Oh mind, whatever you are thinking about, I'm not interested in." The mind may rebel and say, "How can you do this to me? I'm your friend. You're my friend. I'm you." No, anything you offer, I'm not interested in. The mind will give you wonderful Vedic thoughts of spirituality, bliss, Brahman. Say, "No, I'm not interested." And you may fall asleep, but to keep the mind awake, you say, "I'm interested in something," but you cannot talk about it. Do whatever you like. I'm not interested. No matter how great or powerful spiritual thoughts, non-dual thoughts, Vedic thoughts, I'm not interested. Worldly thoughts, I'm not interested. So that helps you quiet your mind. So here I am standing in front of you talking about something you cannot see, smell, taste, hear, or touch. Something so mysterious that not even Google would know. It would throw up its hands and say, "I give up." And yet, here I am trying to explain it to you in words, which oddly brings me to Seinfeld. So this was the shirt I showed earlier about nothing, a show about nothing. Because if Seinfeld can make nothing entertaining, surely I can explain something that you can't even sense. So during the 90s, there was an American TV series called Seinfeld. It is a comedy series. But in one of the episodes, the characters, Jerry and George, were trying to pitch a new TV show to some executives, and the characters were based on themselves. So this is the dialogue for that particular episode. So Jerry, George, and Russell, who's an NBC executive, are seated in a boardroom and discussing the show. Russell says, "So what's the show about?" George says, "I think I can sum up the show with one word: nothing." Russell says, "Nothing?" George says, "Nothing." Russell says, "What does that mean?" George says, "This show is about nothing." Then Jerry steps in. "Well, it's not about nothing." George says, "No, it's about nothing." Jerry then says, "Well, maybe in philosophy, but even nothing is something." The executive is confused. Then Russell says, "Well, what happens in the show?" George says, "Nothing happens in the show. It's just like life. You eat, you read, you go shopping. You eat, you read, you go shopping. That's it." So From the perspective of what we call real life, just like Seinfeld, people talk, events happen, emotions rising and falling. The executives in the episodes are disturbed because nothing sounds meaningless. Likewise, the ego resists the idea that the world might not be the ultimate reality. In Seinfeld, the executives want a premise, a hero, conflict, stakes. George insists nothing happens. In consciousness, the ego wants identity, a story of me, goals, drama. But many non-dual philosophies suggest that beneath the personal story, the I, there is simply awareness, just presence, no dramatic plot. The ego asks, what is life about? Awareness replies, nothing. If the world is an illusion, then the plot of your life is a narrative. The character, you, the role, the consciousness is you. The events are appearances in consciousness. Ultimate reality in that view isn't the story. It's the awareness in which the story appears. So in a strange way, Seinfeld mirrors this. We think we're watching a show about events, but really we're watching conversations about nothing, and yet we are captivated. Similarly, we think we're living a grand life, a solid life, but perhaps we're watching appearances in awareness. People forget this world is simply an illusion. In many traditions, forgetting is the default condition. We identify with the character. We take the plot seriously. We fear outcomes. We cling to meaning. But awakening in spiritual terms is realizing that the show was always playing on the screen. You are not the character, you are the screen, consciousness. As Sri Ramakrishna put it, God alone is real, the eternal substance, and all else is unreal, transitory. Shivaratri reminds us that just like Shiva, who is pure consciousness, we should try to glimpse and reach out to our true nature. If ultimate reality is pure consciousness or awareness, then moving towards it is paradoxical. You don't go somewhere else. You recognize what is already here inside you. We, the individual soul, Jiva, forget our infinite nature. We identify with body. We get absorbed in the plot. It's like an actor who forgets they're acting and believes the script is real. The spiritual path isn't escaping the world. It's recognizing, I am Shiva, the consciousness in which this world appears. We do not leave the show. You realize you are the screen, the actor, and the writer. So in order to reach the ultimate reality, I must be like Shiva and leave my worldly belongings, renounce my nice clothes, renounce my relationships, renounce my job, renounce all my nice food I eat, renounce my electric car, and sit on a mountaintop and tie up my hair. If you have hair, then yes, that's what you do. Yeah. No, all this is still a Brahman appearing as the world. It is like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. In one of Swami Vivekananda's lectures, he gives a wonderful talk about two gardeners. So a rich man had a garden and two gardeners. One of these gardeners was very lazy and did not work. But when the owner came to the garden, the lazy man would get up and fold his arms and say, "How beautiful is the face of my master," and dance in front of him. The other gardener would not talk much, but would work hard and produce all sorts of fruits and vegetables, which he would carry on his head to his master, who lived a long way off. These two gardeners, which of these two gardeners will be more loved by his master? Shiva is that master, and this world is his garden. And there are two sorts of gardeners here. The one who is lazy, hypocritical, and does nothing, only talking about Shiva's beautiful eyes, and nose and other features. And the other who is taking care of Shiva's children, all those that are poor and weak, all animals and all his creation. Which of these would be more beloved of Shiva? Certainly, he that serves his children, who wants to serve the father, must serve the children first. He who wants to serve Shiva must serve his children first, must serve all creatures in this world first. It is said in the Shastras that those who serve the servant of God are his greatest servants. So you will bear this in mind. So what is the point of trying to reach consciousness and the ultimate reality? We will have less suffering. Life is a leela, a divine play. Then situations still happen, emotions still arise, challenges still come. But they're not happening to a fragile separate self. They're movements appearing in awareness. In practical terms, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Instead of, it becomes, this is just a scene unfolding. That shift alone reduces anxiety, over-identification, and personal drama. We have more freedom and we have less seriousness. Seinfeld works because it is a show. It shows how absurd everyday concerns can be. From the ego's perspective, a delayed email is a crisis. A social interaction is life or death. A mistake defines you. For an enlightened person, that has a glimpse of awareness. It's a passing wave in consciousness. It doesn't make you careless. It makes you lighter. You participate fully, but without tension. It gives you emotional stability. You recognize yourself as awareness rather than constantly changing mind. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, moods come and go, but awareness doesn't. So in daily life, you feel emotions, but you're not consumed by them. You'll have more compassion. You are consciousness, and the others are the same consciousness appearing differently. You are them, they are you. Then judgments soften. Instead of that person is difficult, consciousness is expressing itself as this personality right now. That perspective naturally increases patience and compassion. You have less fear. If this is a divine play, success is a scene. Failure is a scene. Praise is a scene. Criticism is a scene. You are not damaged by outcomes. This makes you more courageous, more creative, less paralyzed by fear. Ironically, people often perform better when they are less attached. You become present in the moment. Consciousness has no future or past, only here and now. So when you drink your coffee, just drink. When I'm coding, I just code. When speaking, just speak. Life becomes about now. On this Shivaratri, we are reminded to turn inwards and recognize the awareness that is always present, the silent witness of thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Shiva is not distant or abstract, but the very consciousness in which this moment is unfolding. When we remember this, life becomes lighter, compassion deepens, and we move through the world in steadiness and grace. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ruthrun. And because you give such good talks, we're going to be asking you more times in future. And now invite Gayatriprana.
Thank you very much, Ruthrun. As Robert said, I got a very good speaker. Don't have to worry whom to ask. And a beautiful explanation of Shiva, the inner meaning and consciousness. They thank you. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. The whole universe is constantly moving, continuously moving. When you look around, you see nothing is stationary. Everything is constantly moving. But this movement is not a haphazard movement. There is a rhythm. The movement is rhythmic. Everything in the universe, starting from galaxies, stars, planets, our own earth, and the living and non-living beings beyond the earth, all are part of this great rhythmic process of creation, destruction, evolution, involution, going on and on. There is no stop. We think that, oh, the world is coming to an end. We think, just because we think that it's not the fact. Our lifespan, is so small. How far we can see, it is very short. So we think that, oh, this is all it is. The world started 5,000 years ago or 2 million years ago. There is no starting point. It is cyclic. So in a circle, can you say which is the starting point of the circle? The universe, the whole creation, everything is cyclic. Starting, coming into existence, going back. That's what we call evolution, involution. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, at the approach of Brahma's day, all manifestations proceed from the unmanifested state. At the approach of Brahma's night, they merge into that alone, the unmanifested. Brahma we consider as the creator. So Brahma also has got day and night like us. When Brahma's day starts, all the manifestations proceed from the unmanifested state. Everything, the whole universe, all the living beings, everything is projected, is come into manifested state from the unmanifest state. And when the time of Brahma's night, everything is absorbed back into that unmanifested state, goes back to unmanifest state. And how long is Brahma's daytime? Brahma's day and night is a long time. It says it's 4.32 billion human years makes a day of Brahma. 4.32 billion years make one daytime, that's 24 hours of Brahma. And same 24 hours night. And they say the Brahma's lifespan is 100 years. Brahma's 100 years. But still, Brahma come into existence is after Brahma's 100 years, he is absorbed back into that unmanifest state. So there is something beyond that, beyond this creator Brahma, creator whom we call creator. Beyond, he comes from that unmanifest state into that manifest state and then goes back. But it goes on rhythmically, continuously. There is nothing haphazard. It's not that Brahma daytime suddenly becomes reduced from 4.32 billion years, human years to 2 human years. No, nothing. It goes on steadily without any change. for us, it might look like an eternity, but it is just a day and night for Brahma, when this manifested state and the unmanifested state. Everything like we have seasons, summer, winter, all just like that Brahma's day and night. Everything goes through this rhythmic pattern, like a dance. You look at the dance of any culture, there is a rhythm. It's not haphazard. Those who don't understand that particular dance form may think, oh, what is this person simply jumping around? It's not jumping. There's a rhythm there. There's a pattern there. Those who know will know what it is. And everything goes in that particular rhythmic form. Now we look at the galaxies. They also come into existence and they are come to an end. Even our sun, the whole galaxy, the universe, everything comes to an end. The astronomers through their telescope have seen observed the galaxies, the stars, and they have seen how stars are being born and the death of stars. Stars come into existence and they die. Stars die. And the explosion of a star or the death of a star is often this called as supernovas. And now the astronomers know that when the supernova takes place, they emit a lot of elements and debris into the surroundings. And those elements create new stars. So one star dies and then another star is born. Just as we see around us. One building is old, we pull it down or it falls out, then another building comes there. One body becomes old, goes away, the soul takes another body. As Shri Krishna says in the Gita, as we throw away worn out clothes and put on new clothes, the same way the soul throws away the worn out body and takes new body. Everything goes on and on in cycles. Nothing is stationary, nothing is haphazard. Everything goes rhythmically. That's the important thing. There is a rhythm in everything. And this same rhythmic pattern we find everywhere, in the galactic activities, in our day-to-day life, and even in subatomic fields. Fritjof Capra in the Tower of Physics says, the idea of rhythm and dance naturally come into mind when one tries to imagine the flow of energy going through the patterns that make up the particle world. Modern physics has shown us that movement and rhythm are essential properties of matter. That all matter, whether here on Earth or in outer space, is involved in a continual cosmic dance. So the scientist is talking about the flow of energy as cosmic dance. Hindu mystics have portrayed this cosmic activity as the dance of Shiva. Shiva is considered as the king of the dancers. He is called Nataraja, king of dancers. Where is he dancing? The whole universe is stage. He stands in the whole universe. At the same time, it's taking place within us also. Whatever is externally happening, it's happening within us. The same energy pulsating the whole universe is pulsating within us. Microcosm and macrocosm, the same thing. Brahmanda and Pindanda, they call in Sanskrit. This is one of the realizations that Swami Vivekananda had when he was wandering all through India as a wandering monk, Pravrajika. Near Almora, he had this great realization. And he told his companion, Swami Akhandananda, that here, this quoting Swamiji's words, here one of the greatest problems of my life has been solved. I have found the oneness of the macrocosm with the microcosm. In this microcosm of the body, everything that is there, that is in the macrocosm, exists. So what is out there is within us. Not in just one or two people, chosen special people, no. In every being, it is there, what is out in the world. I have seen the whole universe within an atom. This realization he had in a place called Kakri Ghat near Almora. I have seen that place, and now they have preserved that area so that we can go and see it. In the atom, what do we have? We all know atoms consist of protons, electrons, neutrons, all that. But are they stationary? No, they are not stationary, they are continuously moving. And they are not isolated entities. They are continually interacting with each other, giving rise to more durable, steady structures. And then finally, the matter that we see, the whole universe that we know, coming from those subatomic particles. They move in a rhythmic way. Comparing this continuous rhythmic movement of energy, the whole universe is only energy. There's no science that tells us there's no matter, only energy. We see the matter. We see everything, but also it's only energy. As Ruthrun said, it's only awareness, consciousness. But we see all these things, differentialities, all these material things, but it's really consciousness. And physical science says it's only energy. And this energy is continuously moving. So comparing this continuous rhythmic movement of energy to dance, Professor Kapras writes, for the modern physicist, Shiva's dance is the dance of subatomic matter. As in Hindu mythology, it's a continual dance of creation and destruction involving the whole cosmos, the basis of all existence and of all natural phenomena. It's a continuous dance, and what we call the dance of Shiva. This idea of connecting the ongoing cycle of creation, destruction, evolution, involution with dance of Shiva developed with the Shaiva mystics in South India. One of the Shaiva texts says, our Lord is the dancer who, like heat latent in firewood, diffuses his power in mind and matter and make them dance in their turn. See, this Shaiva saint, whoever has written this, he says, he diffuses his power in mind and matter and make them dance. So everything is inert. Without his power, everything is inert. When his power comes, they energize us and they dance. The movement comes. The rhythmic movement happens. And if for a moment, a fraction of a moment, he withdraws that power, everything collapses. The whole universe comes to an end. With his power, everything is moving. So, and the whole creation is completely annihilated. There is a legend which says that once Parvati, a consort of Shiva, in a playful mode, closed his eyes with her hands. Now Shiva's eyes are closed. The whole universe is gone into darkness. everything has come to a standstill. The wind is not blowing, sun is not shining, the water is not moving, the beings, everything, and are not able to breathe. The whole universe is going to be completely destroyed. People are, living beings are suffocating, unable to breathe. And to save the universe, what did Shiva do? He didn't pull out the hands of Parvati, but he brought out another eye. The third eye came up on the forehead. And then the universe breathed a sigh and came back. Otherwise, the whole thing was an untimely death would have happened. It goes in cyclic time, but it was untimely. So he brought out a third eye to protect the whole universe. Ananda Kumaraswamy, a famous art historian, in the book Dance of Shiva says, in the night of Brahma, nature is inert and cannot dance till Shiva wills it. We earlier said night of Brahma, 4.32 billion years, when everything is drawn back into that unmanifested state. Nature is inert, nothing can move, till Shiva wills it and brings out the energy, gives the energy. In the night of Brahma, nature is inert and cannot dance till Shiva wills it. He rises from his rapture and dancing sends through inert matter pulsing waves of awakening sound. And lo, matter also dances, appearing as a glory about him. Dancing, he sustains its manifold phenomena. In the fullness of time, still dancing, he destroys all forms and names by fire and gives new rest. This is poetry, but nonetheless science. So Shiva, when he is dancing, through his dance, the whole his creation comes into existence. And then through dance, he sustains it, protects it. And through dance, he withdraws it, destroys it. Everything goes on. We can see little children dancing when they're full of joy. A sad person doesn't dance. Who dances? Those people are happy, full of joy. So dance is an expression of joy. In the exuberance of joy and bliss, a person dances. Weak people, sick people, unhappy people, they don't dance. We can see Sri Ramakrishna dancing. Sri Ramakrishna, when there's devotion, somebody is singing devotional songs, he dances. He describes the three states through which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went through. He says, when he is fully conscious of the external world, he sings. He joins the group and sings loudly. Then when his mind goes deeper inside, in ecstasy, he dances. When the mind goes still deeper, full mind, he's completely immersed in the Lord, then he remains steady, without any movement, like an inert thing. When Sri Ramakrishna describes these three states, we actually see in his own life, we see these three states. When the devotees have devotional singing going on, or Narendra sings in front of him, in the beginning he may join them, loud singing, and then he dances. And after some time we see him in the gospel, you can see the description. He becomes steady, motionless, standing or sitting, just motionless, like a statue. No movement at all. The mind is completely absorbed deep within. As far as external matter is concerned, just like that person. In one of these states, the physician who has come to treat Sri Ramakrishna, Dr. Sarkar, he tested his pulse. No pulse. He tested the eyes. The doctors, all this do the testing the eyes and everything. No, he even touched the eyeball with his finger. No response at all. And the doctor was surprised. What is this? This person is dead. After some time, back to normal consciousness. So he dancing, and we can see the in the exuberance of joy, he is dancing. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is saying. He says, Sri Ramakrishna says, Shiva was deep in meditation. Then realizing his own infinite Shiva nature, he could not control himself. So he got up and started dancing. What is Shiva meditating on? We meditate on some form of personal aspect of God or impersonal aspect, whatever each one likes. And why do we meditate? To realize God. And why is Shiva meditating? And on what is Shiva meditating? On his own true nature. And for why? Why is he meditating? Just for the bliss of meditation. For the joy, bliss. He is immersed in his own bliss. And sometimes he could not control that joy. He gets up and starts dancing. So, and earlier as Ananda Kumara Swami said, through dance he is creating and he is destroying. When destruction happens, we get frightened. And the moment you just speak about death. Oh, no, don't talk about that. Nobody wants to hear about death. Because death is annihilation. No, we don't. Please don't talk about these unholy things or morbid things. No, we don't want to hear about it. Just by not talking about, are you going to avoid it? No. But Shankaracharya in Shivananda Lahari talks about Shiva. He says, Kim bromastava sahasam pashupate kasyasti shambho bhavat dhairyam chedradamash atmana sthidiriyam chanye katham labhyade prishyad devaganam prasan muniganam nasyat prapancham layam pashyan nirbhaya eka eva viharatyananda sandro bhavan. O Lord of all souls, what shall we say about your exploits? Talking about Shiva. What can we talk about your exploits? Who else as courageous you are? How can anybody else attain to this state of yours? Even when seeing before your very eyes the final dissolution taking place, with all the gods and denizens of the different heavens and quarters thrown off their allotted positions, the ascetics and sages trembling with fright, and the universe itself getting disintegrated into its components, still you, unafraid, does revel all alone, inebriated with pure bliss absolute. The whole universe is getting destroyed. These gods who are in charge of different positions, like we have got all this god of wind, god of ocean, god of fire, all these good gods, they're all being thrown off their positions. And the whole universe is being destroyed. And the ascetics and sages who are immersed in meditation, they're trembling with fear. And you dance, go on dancing in joy. It's no fear. Even ordinary people, as I said earlier, we are so afraid of destruction, death and destruction. Even great, highly spiritually advanced people, they also are afraid. In the early days, you can see Narendra, when first time Sri Ramakrishna touched him, Narendra found that everything is going into void. His own individuality was being destroyed, and he got so frightened and he cried, "What are you doing? I got my parents. He thought he was going to die. And again, you see, Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, when Sri Krishna showed the universal form, he wanted to see, and he requested, and Krishna said, no, with your ordinary eyes you can't see. I'll give you divine eyes. So with divine eyes, he was seeing that universal form. Still, he got so frightened. He said, no, I can't stand this anymore. Please withdraw it. Because everything was being destroyed. But Shiva here is completely unaffected. And he is dancing. Instead of getting frightened, he is dancing in joy. That is Shiva. Nothing is affecting him. Because he is a witness. He's completely unattached. He is just a witness. This whole universe being destroyed does not affect him at all. Fear comes when there is an idea of another. When there is nothing else, what is there to fear? We are afraid or something will happen to me from somebody or some things. But when there is nothing else other than me in the whole universe, there's no universe, only me is there existing, I, consciousness. Then what is there to afraid of? There's nothing else. That is Shiva. Shiva is that non-dual reality. So he is fearless. Because his joy does not depend upon anything. As I said earlier, he is meditating because of pure joy, meditating on his own pure nature. He is Atma Rama, bliss, enjoy his own bliss. And in ordinary language, we speak of Shiva as the destroyer. We have Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer or protector, and Shiva is the destroyer. What is Shiva destroying? And again, we saw Shiva, we read here earlier, that Shiva is destroying through dance. What is he destroying? He is destroying the world systems and not just a few people, he is destroying the ignorance within us. One of the Shiva texts says, not merely the heavens and earth at the close of world cycles, but he is destroying the fetters that bind each separate soul. Then why should we be so afraid of the destruction? He is destroying the world, not just the world system, but the fetter that is binding each soul. That idea of the Shiva destroying the fetters of the soul, Sri Ramakrishna had a vision in Benares. It's a common belief among Hindus that if you die in Benares, Kashi, you will get liberation, freedom. But how does it happen? Nobody knew. It's just a belief. Then when Sri Ramakrishna went to Benares, is one of the main ghat where the body is cremated, Manikarnika Ghat. Sri Ramakrishna had a vision. He saw the funeral pyres going on, burning, and Shiva going to each pyre and repeating the divine name, and Divine Mother cutting the bonds. When the scholars heard about it, they said, this is how it happens. We have read in the books that if you die in Kashi, you will get freedom, liberation. But how it happens, we never knew. Then you may ask, everybody who is living in Kashi and dying there will get freedom? Well, if you believe if you really believe that, and if you are a wicked person and you think, oh, I'll do all evil things and let me die in Kashi and have freedom, it may not happen. It's only on the one side of Ganges, not on the other side. You may go for some business on the other side and you may die there. It doesn't happen all the time. Only those who are meant to believe, meant to die, they will die. Not everybody. We stay there there are places where old people go and stay just to die in Kashi. For some treatment, they were gone. It can happen. And which is this burning ground, the cremation ground? It is not where not just where the body are burned, but the heart of the devotee. And what is he burning? The ego. The ego is being destroyed. When all this ego is burnt, then the Lord dances there. He is dancing and he alone remains there. So Shiva is often depicted as dancing in the cremation ground. One of the, in Tamil, Shiva is also called Sudalayadi, dancer in the cremation ground. He scatters, this is another quotation from one of the Shiva texts. He scatters the darkness of illusion, burns the threat of causality, stamps down the evil, showers grace, and lovingly plunges the soul in the ocean of bliss. They never see rebirth, who behold the mystic dance. Those who see the dance of Shiva within the heart, they are not born again. They are completely free. The Shiva text speaks mainly of three dances of Shiva. We saw Shiva's dancer, but there's three types of dance. The first dance they speak about is the evening dance in the Himalayas. So the description is Parvati, Divine Mother, is seated on a throne and Shiva is dancing. All the gods have come witnessing the dance. The description is interesting. All the gods gather around him. Saraswati plays on the veena, Indra on the flute, Brahma keeps time with the cymbals, Lakshmi begins a song, and Vishnu plays a drum, and all the gods are standing around seeing the dance. That's one of the dances. The second dance is known as Tandava, belongs to his tamasic aspect, done in cremation ground. Is more likely the dance of destruction. And it could be the dance that Shankaracharya described earlier. You are dancing, the whole universe is being destroyed and you are not afraid. That's the dance in the cremation ground, Tandava. Then there is the dance of Nataraja at the Golden Hall of Chidambaram. It's such a typical statue. We have the dancing Shiva, and this is the painting that we have got of that dancing Shiva. It's a common thing we have in copper images of Nataraja, quite common. And here Shiva has got 4 hands. One uplifted, the right hand holds a drum, and the upper left hand holds a tongue of fire. So from the drum, when the drum is beaten, she's just shaking it, not beating like with the hand, but holding in the hand middle, he just shakes it and the sound comes. From that sound, the whole creation comes into existence. We say Om, the sound Om. We don't say the letter Om, the sound Om is sound Brahman, because the whole creation comes from that. It's called Anahata Dhvani. It's not just in Hinduism we say that the whole creation, manifest universe come from the sound. In John's Gospel, its beginning, right? The Gospel starts with saying, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Whole creation came from the Word. So in the same way, here, from that sound of the drum, the whole creation came into existence. The upper left hand holds a tongue of fire, element of destruction. Fire burns, destroys everything. And two hands together showing the balance. Destruction, creation, destruction goes on. One hand showing creation, the other hand showing destruction. And his face in between that. The calm, detached face between the hands show that he has transcended the duality of creation and destruction. Now look at the lower left hand. He is showing Abhay Mudra, assuring protection. Don't be afraid. I'm here to protect you. And the lower left hand points down to the uplifted foot, symbolizing freedom from the spell of Maya. Lower left hand is pointing to the uplifted foot, showing that you will be free from the spell of Maya. Now, where is he dancing? He is dancing on the prostrate body of a demon, the demon of ignorance. He is crushing the demon of ignorance. When Shiva dances in our heart, our ignorance is gone. What is ignorance? Ignorance is veiling our awareness of the true nature. It's not that our real nature, we have to bring it from somewhere. Or if you speak about God, you have to bring God from somewhere. God is already seated in the heart. It's just covered. Because we are not aware, we are ignorant of that. So Shiva destroys that ignorance and reveals the real nature. Now, this we say Nataraja is in Chidambaram in South India. The temple in Chidambaram temple, there is no statue. If you go to Chidambaram temple, you don't see this Nataraja, it's only outside. All is there, there are 5 temples in South India representing the 5 elements. So Chidambaram is space, there is nothing. In the altar, in the shrine, the sanctum sanctorum, there is nothing, it's just emptiness, it's just space. But it's outside. And according to the Shaiva text, Chidambaram is not a geographical location in South India, in Tamil Nadu, no. It is the heart of the devotee who is really devoted person, free from any ignorance and ego. It says his form is everywhere, all pervading. Chidambaram is everywhere. Everywhere he dances. As Shiva is all and omnipotent, everywhere is Shiva's gracious dance made manifest. Wherever Shiva is dancing, that is Chidambaram. It's just see, we need concrete things, so we give some name. But Shiva is actually dancing within the heart. Then there are other ideas of Shiva. Shiva in meditation. Shiva is deep in meditation. That's it. There are 3 different type of pictures or ideals we get about Shiva. Shiva in meditation, Shiva dance, and then Shiva, Parvati, Subramanya and Ganesha. Shiva in meditation is depicted as absorbed in meditation, in the Himalayas. Background is snow-clad mountain, and he is absorbed in meditation. This is Mount Kailas is his abode. So he is the ideal for those who want to practice meditation. He is called Yogeshwara, Lord of Yogis. We are under the control of nature. We don't have any freedom. We say we are all free, but we don't have any real freedom. We have got freedom of the senses, but we are bound by the senses. We don't have any freedom from senses. The real freedom is freedom from senses. Whether that we don't have. We are bound by sight, touch, sound. All these 5 senses control us. But those in meditation, Shiva is controlling all the nature. He is completely free from nature. Whole Prakriti is under his control. All energy is withdrawn. The mind is calm, placid like ripless lake. And he is meditating on his own divine glory. Now, if he is absorbed in meditation, then what's the point of calling on him when what's the point of praying to him? He is absorbed in meditation. He won't listen to us. No, it's not like that. He is absorbed in meditation. But anytime people are in distress, danger, and call on him, he comes straight away to help us, to protect us. Any distress cry reaches his ears, and he responds immediately. However difficult the situation is. I'll just finish with one story about that. You all know the story of the churning of the Milky Ocean. The Milky Ocean, where is it? Deep within us. And the Milky Ocean was being churned to get the nectar of immortality. So both demons and gods made a pact. Continuous, always their enemies, but now if we can get the nectar of immortality, we will be immortal. So they made a pact, we'll join together and churn the Milky Ocean. Milky Ocean was churned, and so many things came up. Each one, both gods and demons took possession of all those things coming up. And then came Halahala, the terrible poison, which is going to destroy the whole universe. People got frightened. Both these group, gods and demons, got frightened. What are we going to do with this poison? It's going to destroy all of us. Who is going to save us? They ran, Shiva, please, you are the only savior. You have to help us. He was sitting his meditation. He got up, very calmly took the whole poison with his cupped hand and drank it to save the universe. But Shankaracharya very humorously says, but how can you drink that poison? The whole universe is within you. You will destroy that. It will be destroyed. So what did you do? If it is outside the external world, it will be destroyed. If you drink, the whole universe is within you also, only. It will be destroyed. So what to do? He left it at the road. Didn't go outside, didn't go inside. Just left at the road. And just a mark, a blue mark. That's all. And that also he kept under the throat, and he covered it with the snakes. So nobody usually sees that his blue throat. The idea is, if you do something to help others, don't boast about it. Don't make it a big show. Oh, I'm doing all this. I helped you people. Do it silently. As Jesus says, don't let your right hand know what the left hand is doing. Don't have to speak a big thing. Do it, and that's leave us see. And what did Shiva do? Drank the poison, went back to his meditation. And again, the different things came, all these gods and demons, again catching hold of them. But when the poison came, They called him, he drank the poison, went back to his meditation. That's all he had to do. If you want to help somebody, just help and go back to your business, whatever you are doing. Don't make a big show of it. And how can we adore such this reality which is impersonal, which we cannot speak about? We heard Ruthrun saying we cannot talk about it, we cannot see it, we cannot hear about it. We can, even with our mind, we cannot catch it. Mind comes away. So how are we to do? How can we think about it? How can we meditate on it? How can we adore it? This power behind the universe. In the Shivananda Lahari, Shankaracharya says, Manaste padabje nivasud vaja stotra phanitau karo chabhyarchayam sudirabi kathakarnana vithau tavadhyane buddhir nayane yukala murti vibhave paragranthan kairva paramashiva jane paramataha. Let my mind stay at your lotus feet. Let my speech be engaged in uttering your praises. My mind in thy worship. My sense of hearing in listening to thy story. My intellect in meditation on thee. And my eyes in looking at thy splendid form. This being so, through which other sense organ will I learn other texts? So whatever, or with all our sense organs, let us adore the Lord. Whatever I'm seeing the Lord, God's form. Whatever I'm hearing, it's the praises of God. Whatever I'm doing with my hands and feet, is worshipping God. In that way, all our day-to-day activities becomes worship of God. Then we don't have to, if that attitude comes, if that memory comes, then nobody can say we don't have time to think about God, because every action is worship of God. And then we also can say He is dancing in our heart.
Just a few announcements, and then you're invited to stay back and get a share of the sweets and savories. This Thursday, first off, is Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. And as usual, on the actual birthday, you're invited to attend the Shivaratri nunnery in the evening. From 6:30, there'll be the Arati, silent meditation, and then Gayatriprana, you'll be reading from some books related to Sri Ramakrishna. And you're invited to bring some sweets or savories to offer. And next Sunday, we'll have the public celebration of Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. We'll have talks by Adesh Tucker, and our honoured guest, Pravrajika Aloka Pranaji, she will be giving a talk on Sri Ramakrishna, the urgent need for the present age. We'll have some live music by the Banerjee family, and as usual, there'll be lunch at the end, and we always welcome help with preparing the food for lunch. In between, on Friday the 20th, we'll have the first spiritual evening discussion for the year. And that will be looking at themes like what's happening in your mind and how your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. That'll be all part of the discussion. And then going ahead into May, going to start letting you know about a special event. And it's in honor of revered Pravrajika Gayatriprana Mataji, her centenary. That's to be one of the events. It will be an interfaith panel exploring the theme from personal tranquility to social harmony, from inner peace to world peace. That will be the theme the panel will explore. We've already got 2 invitees have accepted. I mean, I'm very happy we've got the Reverend Dr. David Gill. He is a very significant person. He's retired now, but he was the General Secretary of the Uniting Church of Australia, and he was even on the committee of the World Council of Churches. And a very, very good speaker. So we're very happy he's accepted the invitation. Our good friend Walter Mason will be representing Buddhism on the panel. We'll have Gayatriprana representing, of course, Hinduism. And we'll see who else we can get for the panel. But this is all on Sunday, the 17th of May, from 2 to 4 p.m. So we'll keep reminding you about that. Please keep that date clear in your calendars. Hope to have a good turnout for that. So now let's wait for some share of sweets and savours.